So first thing you notice when you come into our bus is our awesome pink AstroTurf.
It's a dirty, messy project and it requires its own space.
But it's really nice because of the 110-gallon water tank that we have.
I really reinforced and glued everything together to keep it on the wall.
Hi, I'm Ming.
And I'm Hunter.
And this is Bus Meets World.
Come check it out.
This is our living room / bed area. We have our grandioso 70-inch TV. We have Smash Bros, Netflix, I mean all the cable packages. Just wanted to go all out with the TV. So this is an IKEA bed frame. It does pull out into the full king. So we have a bunch of storage under here, which is really nice. The only thing is we discovered when we drove that they opened up when Hunter would make the wrong turn, and so he had to install this little thing to kind of lock the drawers in place because that was not fun to have them slide open on us. Everything on the bed had to be pastel, and I also made these curtains, got some material from Hobby Lobby, and they're actually blackout curtains, which is really nice. And this is our baby boy Callum, and this is our dog Beatrix. So the floor that we have is, I believe, a vinyl padding, and it's actually really soft. We were thinking about doing the regular like board slats that everyone does for like vans and RVs, but I really wanted something very unique, so Hunter went on, I believe, eBay and found this vinyl padding, which is really cool. So up here we have food storage, more food storage, and we have a bunch of DVDs. We have a big collection of Studio Ghibli because that's some of our favorites. DVD player, and then the mobile hotspot and router. So first thing you notice when you come into our bus is our awesome pink AstroTurf. We got it at Home Depot, and you can actually get any color you want there. You can get blue, yellow, green, black. And so obviously because our bus is very pastel, I decided to go with pink. And so the other thing that you notice is all our little flamingos. We got them when we lived in New York. We actually took these bus fans out when we were doing the build, and then we realized that we don't have any air conditioning up front because for some odd reason the bus doesn't come with like any air conditioning in the driver's seat, so Hunter reinstalled these. But of course we had to make them some kind of pastel color so they match our microwave and refrigerator. Another thing that you notice is the eyes of our bus. We got them at Walmart. The other thing that we have is our awesome carpet. It was kind of hell in the summer to drive on, not gonna lie, because it gets a little hot, but it's really nice in the winter because it is the warmest thing ever. We have our navigation thing here. It holds our phones, but I do help Hunter with being his lookout. It is nice. He did install a camera here, so he has both sides and the back, so I don't have to like pop out and show, like help him navigate anything, which is really nice. We do eventually want to paint all these buttons, and here we just kind of keep some of the shoes down there. We eventually want to get rid of this like bulky part because it serves like no purpose. It would be nice to put storage in there, and eventually we can put our shoes up there.
So as you move towards the rear, I have my domain. This is the kitchen. It was really important to me to have a functioning kitchen. I really love to cook, and I had all of this commercial stainless material saved up from previous jobs, and I wanted to make use of it in the bus. Up top I created just like an open storage. Instead of doing like a closed cabinet, I just like the idea of a free flowing, I can see everything. But yeah, basically dry goods to canned goods, even some glasses and cups kind of make their way up here. Things shift around. Put in the spice rack right here. I have my secret blend of spices, and definitely important to have, you know, the magnetic knife setup, things like that. Standard microwave matches our refrigerator. Again, that pastel color palette that Ming had, I ran with it a little bit, but I did want to bring a little of the commercial industrial nature of the outside to the inside, so I did do the diamond metal, you know, industrial, very big sink. I do have a nice metal plate on top so I can create a surface, and then there is storage under that in the sink. We have our 3-burner propane stove. Pretty much cook everything on a cast iron skillet these days and a griddle. And then below all of that, we have a hot water heater is under the sink. Right here I have actually propane stored here. We have a new addition to the family, so I may move the propane to maximize our storage, but that's where it is now. And then under here I have just tons of food, other appliances, things like that. So hopefully it's not too messy for you, but that's how it is in van life, right? Under the here I have just pull out drawers, and they're held in just so they're kind of like a fixed little cubby, but they roll out. And again, it's all free flowing, so everything just kind of comes out and I can work and then throw things back in. So that's that side of the kitchen. So coming over to the side that we eat on, I do have this kitchen table here. And this is, again, this is like a IKEA piece that I spiced up a little bit. But that folds down like so. These little booth seats in front of us, they swivel and the back's open and there's storage inside of them. So they're very versatile, and we can kind of change if we want to have like a diner style setup, or we can create a little baby booth for our son. We've got a little bit of storage in here. And again, that just folds up pretty easy like so. I was gonna build it by hand, and then I always check IKEA and Walmart, and sometimes there's some really good stuff that's there, and you can just reinforce it. And like I really reinforced and glued everything together to keep it on the wall when you're driving. It's kind of like an earthquake, you know. So as I go back, though, I do have, along the top, I have some lights. There's lights across the middle. These actually change colors, so we can create a very nice mood. And then I have more of utility work lights that are just bright enough to work. And those are powered on the 12 volt with the bus. So when our inverter's in power save mode, we can still have lights. But yep, kitchen's definitely where I spend a lot of my time. As you can see, this little wall behind me is Ming's detail. And I did hide a little thermostat there. So anything like, that doesn't look right, Ming is very good to point it out, and we just like to dress it up, so have fun. It's a living art piece. We decided to go with a 110 gallon freshwater storage tank, which is right under the bus here, and match that with a 110 gray water tank. And even 110 gallons sounds like a lot. That's like 2 or 3 days on average use. We've made that go 10 days, I think, to stretch it out, but yeah, comfortably about 2 or 3 days worth of water.
I definitely wanted a bus, because if we lived in a van, I would have murdered him.
I actually had a van when we met, and we've gone to some shows, and I used to throw a mattress in the back. It was awesome. But when we decided to make the full-time move to van life, bus life, we were living in a very small apartment in Brooklyn, New York for the lockdown, and we had no job at the point because we were all let go, and we were paying a lot of money for this very small amount of space. And really we saw a lot of buses online, as did many people during that time. It was very enticing, and we were both adventurous and said, you know what, let's go for it. Looked online. I was looking at mostly full-size buses and short buses, and had a budget of like 10 grand in mind, right? That's what we were thinking, to buy the bus, and then we wanted to put maybe another 20 into it, knowing we picked about a 30 grand mark because that was 1 year of rent in our Brooklyn apartment. And we knew that if we did this and did it for 1 year, the risk was we're right back where we were paying rent at that apartment. So we went for it. Alright, so this is sort of the middle bridge part of the bus. It's a transition area from the front area, which is mostly our living space, and then the back area, which is my working space. Right here we have, originally built as a bathroom, actually. This little star and moon sort of symbolizes that, and of course turned into a storage immediately. We have added an addition to the family, so right now this room is full of diaper and baby stuff, and will likely actually evolve into probably a bassinet and changing area. But for now, it's a good storage. We have some basket storage, toiletries, got trash, things like that. I have a medicine cabinet and mirror. Mirror does flip out, so you can kind of like do your makeup right here. On this side here, we have, this is the heater belly of the bus. This is a Tennessee barrel stove. It's a little overkill, but we are from Colorado, and it gets below zero every year here. And we tend to be here in the winter to visit family for the holidays. So heat's very important. This is a wood burning stove. It's a big insulated, stack here. So it gets very, very hot. And when our boy starts walking, I may have to rethink this, but for now it's been a really great solution. We have one of those heat powered fans you've probably seen online. Works like a charm. Back here I have storage cubbies, And in the winter, it does tend to fill up with firewood. But right now I've got it full of towels and things like that. I've got a shop vac. Down low, I've got all our cleaning supplies and Clorox and WD-40s and all that stuff. You can see the air conditioning. We have 2 units. They're rooftop units. They're very powerful. They're the Furrion, like the 110 powered, so the full bore. And those run on our solar, believe it or not. They can run while the sun is up. We'd like to increase our battery storage to get through the night. So in that solution, we're either plugging in to run air conditioning, but we can run it during the day. Is really cool. That was a fun challenge to get that kind of system running.
So further down the hall, we have our beautiful storage / shower area. So we have like a porta potty type toilet right now, but Hunter actually bought this really nice RV toilet, which is actually going to be going in our closet area. But for now, in transition, we just have this, and we'll obviously take everything out when we shower, but it's really nice because of the 110-gallon water tank that we have. We can actually put this on like mist mode and pretty much take a 40-minute shower, and the hot water is really good with it, and it's wonderful. Especially like in the summer, it saved us. Like we would take cold showers, and then obviously in the winter it works really, really well. We have this hanging thing to hold all our shampoos and stuff, and we actually had to silicone it down because when we were driving it was just like rocking back and forth and everything was falling. We actually want to put eventually in like we've seen people do like skylights, which would be really nice because there's really no light around this area, so it'd be nice to almost have like a hatch that kind of goes out, or like a bubble or something. And then over here is our closet area. Obviously Hunter and I are very into clothes, and I had to have a closet. Originally it was actually just a clothing rack which we tied down, and that moved all over the bus on our maiden voyage, and that was awful. So we came back and he built me this, and we have like our cubbies down here. We have these nice drawers which hold all of my stuff. It has like purses and shoes and all of that, and then obviously all the clothes up here. And eventually this is going to become the bathroom, so the toilet, RV toilet, will be here, so it'll be like one huge kind of like bathroom area. And I think he eventually wants to put in like a sink and way more cabinet space because I need more room to put like makeup, so he wants to put even more storage shelves up here. Really realize, especially in this lifestyle, the classism that happens between not the nomads, I would say, on the road, but the people in houses, like getting yelled at by just in a parking lot, you know, or getting yelled at literally parked on the street. Like we were in Savannah, Georgia.
Don't go to Savannah in a big bus. Don't do it.
Some woman like ran out to Hunter because I was at a restaurant grabbing some food, and I mean she came out and was just like, "Your bus is just too big," and Hunter's like, okay, you know, and she literally like called the cops on Hunter, and the cop was like, "You're legally parked, like you're fine, like ma'am, like you're gonna have to chill out and like go back into your house."
Yeah, if it was an overnight, see, that wasn't even overnight parking. That's just parking on anywhere in the middle of the day, and we still got resistance, a lot of it, in fact. And maybe it's the big yellow bus. Something about the big yellow bus for some people is very it bothers them, and then other people it's really, I think it's a big polarity thing. It's very love or hate it kind of thing. On the flip side of that, there are a lot of people sympathetic to travelers, and I will say that was it was a breath of fresh air after having like a negative interaction like in Savannah.
There were a couple Karens on there.
Yeah, but then you meet someone like who's like, come and eat with me and do some laundry, get some water, so it immediately balances out. The universe is so wonderful like that.
Yeah.
The balance. We're in the rear of the bus now. This is a very important part of the bus for us because it's actually how we pay the bills. I'm a photographer. I do tintype photography, and Ming is my assistant and handles everything logistically and styling wise. So we work together, and this backspace I created into, it's a makeshift digital darkroom and real darkroom, and I'll explain a little bit about how that works. So I have another stainless steel top, just like the kitchen one up there. We put this in, and I have room for my computer and scanner and other electronics. I got some iPads and things like that help when we're doing our photography. right under the table here. I do have a ton of storage for things like hard drives, obviously the stuff drawer, the proverbial stuff drawer full of scissors and pens and paper clips and batteries and stuff. That's down there. Below all of that, I actually have a ton of chemistry. So the photography I do requires I transform this into a dark room, and the lights will go to a red amber glow, and I develop all the film as I actually create the film and then shoot and develop all at once, and it all happens while it's dripping wet. That's why they call them wet plates. So you can follow us wandering wet plates. It's a separate page because aesthetically it doesn't match the bus, but that's how we pay the bills. So that was the big challenge, is how we sustain this lifestyle. And I couldn't really sacrifice on the office space to be productive the way I wanted to, so instead of doing the bedroom in the back like most people do, you saw our little convertible living space, and I decided to create a little bit more of a workspace in the back. It's a dirty, messy project, and it requires its own space. I don't like it to get messed up with our food or any other things like that. But yeah, just to explain what's in the drawers here, a ton of chemistry, ton of camera equipment, large cameras. I even got some strobe lighting packed back in there. And up front I literally have beakers and all kinds of stuff to mix up like my own chemistry, so it all sits safely right under here. That's why we ended up in a full-size bus instead of a van, I'd say. Moving to this side, I have our full-size refrigerator, absolutely key. You can see a creative little thing to keep it closed is just a nice little strap like that, so it won't open when you're driving. Something we learned quick. We've got our magnet collection, which is getting ever bigger and bigger with all the states that we've been to about half of them. So freezer full of breast milk right now, which is very important to keep frozen. And to power all of these awesome toys, I actually put in a massive solar system. It's 1500 watt collection, which is pretty mid-range, but it's a 15,000 watt inverter, and it puts out a 240 volt 50 amp 2-pole. So similar to like when you'd plug into an RV park, that 50 amp, that's what this inverter is putting out, that full power into a standard household panel. So we have power throughout the bus, and all those batteries are actually stored up under my chemistry here all along the bottom. I've got 800 amp hours, planning to expand on that. What is nice about this lifestyle is you actually think more about what you need versus what you want, and then work up from there. So what we need is to have the refrigerator always on, and that's our main power consumption 24/7. And I watch the monitor on my inverter here. It's got a battery meter, and I can decide if we have enough power to turn on the big TV and run the other toys. Also, you can just stop at a RV park for a quick overnight, plug in the power, which will backfeed and charge everything. So just like charging your laptop or phone, it's okay to plug in every now and then. We're still maximizing that solar, but it's okay to have a little help from the grid. Ming did the blackout curtains. Although they are beautiful pastel, they completely black the light out, allowing me to do that dark room conversion. We do have plans to expand storage, so I have a vision of a shelf going along the top here, but we left the back door actually accessible, which is cool, and we have stairs going out the back. So when I'm doing darkroom action, I like to go in and out of here so I'm not running the mess up through the bus. Here's a perfect example too of a tintype, just for fun, huh? Look at those, cool. Check us out at Wandering Wet Plates if you're interested in that photography side of the stuff, but if you want to see the fun bus stuff, just follow us here. Before we finish out the video, I'd like to make a few shout outs to acknowledge those who really stepped up to help and support us during not only the build, but then sustaining the lifestyle. First off, our parents, just for being encouraging and not hating us for even doing this. Ashton, my brother, he let me park the bus behind his shop while I did the initial build. My Uncle Greg, thank you so much for everything. We named our son, his middle name's Gregory, after my Uncle Greg. He taught me how to build everything you see here, and he helped build just about all of it by hand.
Everyone onto the road who offered us laundry, a place to sleep, especially Eric.
Yeah, Eric, my boy in Florida, Tim and Kelly in New Mexico.
Yep. Allie and Noah.
Allie and Noah, what's up? Shout
Steve
out.
and Patty.
Yep. Sean and Ash.
Yeah, the twins.
The twins up in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Matthew and Ryan.
Yeah.
So they're at Black Veil Tattoo.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for your support. If you'd like to follow us on our adventure, we have a page here that's Bus Meets World, which is on Instagram and YouTube. And we also have our art page, which is Wandering Wet Plates.
Thank you for checking out our video, and don't forget to follow us online.